Hi teachers, this is Unit 4, Week 4, Day 3 of the Middle School ENL Standalone curriculum. So today students will compare and contrast the two texts that they have read for this week, a quick note on getting better at difficult things, and Mother to Son. So these are two very different texts, but students will be asked to share what makes them similar, what makes them different, and this will help them prepare for the synthesizing that they will do in Week 5. So the opening do now routine shows us a Venn diagram. So students will say what they see, what they think, and what they wonder about this. There's some more information down here about the Venn diagram and comparing and contrasting and the role that it will play in the lesson. So make sure you take a look at those notes to teachers. The next thing that students will do prior to reading is a concept sort. So they will move the white card close to the text that matches it. They will pick which one is a poem, for example, drag it next to the yellow card that matches best, and so on and so forth. Please note that the cards cannot be moved in present mode. The easiest way probably to do this is to assign students the slides where they are expected to produce writing, or to assign this presentation. Just delete the speaker's notes first, so you can file, make a copy, entire presentation, or selected slides. After that, students will take some time to reread each text from the week. So based on your students and how much time you feel that they need, they can either do this independently or in small groups as a more shared reading task. And then as a class, you will go through these discussion questions. Pay special attention to their answers to question 3, because this will be a crucial component of the Week 5 project, is being able to synthesize multiple texts and the ideas in multiple texts. So this is also described in the notes to teachers down here. So take a look at that as you plan for this lesson. Next, students will do a top hat organizer. So this is really similar to the Venn diagram. It just gives students more space to write. So students will write about a quick note on getting better, write about Mother to Son. So there's a couple of examples here. So on a quick note to getting better, in this short essay, the author describes his struggle and success in learning a new language. So we're describing the two texts, what they're about, what happened, maybe differences in delivery. There's a variety of things that students could describe here. And then down here, students are going to list some similarities. There's definitely space to add more. So if students would like to add more, they definitely can. But here, they're describing the texts themselves, and then here, going through and synthesizing some of those similarities between the two texts. Finally, the closing and connecting. The write your thoughts is the heavy hitter for this lesson, the one that your students definitely should do. Students may have a little bit of trouble with this because they're going to be writing from the perspective of one of the narrators. So they're not writing from their own perspective, they're writing from one of the perspectives of the narrators, either in a quick note on getting better or Mother to Son. So they're choosing one of the narrators, they're choosing one of the texts, and filling this out as one of those narrators. So if your students need extra support with that, just make sure to drive that point home, that they are not writing this as themselves, they are writing this as one of the narrators from the two texts. All right, so those are the activities of today's lesson. And now let's get started. All right, students, welcome to Week 4, Day 3. Still working on the essential question, what do we need to succeed? And looking at the two texts we have read this week, a quick note on getting better at difficult things, and Mother to Son. The skill we're going to be working on today is comparing and contrasting two texts. Can someone read the lesson objectives out loud? Awesome. To analyze the development of the central idea or theme in a text, and to prepare for and participate in a range of collaborations with diverse partners. All right, first things first, we will do our do now activity. We have this image right here, 2 circles with different colors, one with an A and one with a B. So what do you see, what do you think, and what do you wonder about this image? So please pause the video here so you can complete the sentences in this box or wherever your teacher is having you collect answers today. Please pause now. All right, welcome back. You may or may not have gotten that this is a Venn diagram. So we use a Venn diagram to compare and contrast 2 things, 2 or more things. So what we have in the middle is the things that are similar between the 2. So if I'm contrasting maybe apples and oranges, I can say that apples have skin, apples have seeds, apples are crunchy. Oranges over here, oranges have orange skin, it's thicker, you have to peel it. Oop. And then in the middle, I can write that they're both fruits, maybe that they both have seeds. So I'm using the Venn diagram to compare and contrast to find what is similar and different about 2 or more things. Now we are going to do a concept sort. So your teacher may have assigned you this slide or put this on a document for you. So we are going to take the cards here, these white cards, and move them towards the text that we think that they belong with. So we read 2 texts this week, A Quick Note on Getting Better at Difficult Things and Mother to Son. So Mother to Son was the poem that we read, and A Quick Note on Getting Better at Difficult Things was the piece that we read about the narrator who was having a hard time learning French. So I am going to come out of present mode, and I'm going to move the cards where they belong. So for example, Mother to Son, I remember that that's a poem, so I'm going to move poem right next to Mother to Son. So please pause the video and take a couple of minutes to sort those cards. After you sort, you will have a discussion with your class. Please pause now. All right, moving down to this orange box, the set the purpose. Today we're going to work on comparing 2 different texts. Although one is an essay and one is a poem, oh, that was a hint for our card sort, what similar themes do they share? So let's read them to connect. Today we're going to reread each of the 2 texts that we have read this week. So A Quick Note on Getting Better at Difficult Things and Mother to Son. Then we are going to address the discussion questions together as a class. So there's 3 discussion questions here. So you're going to read both the texts, look at the discussion questions to be sure that you're ready to respond when it's time to discuss with your class, and then we are going to come back together. So please go ahead and do those tasks and then come on back to the video. You can pause now. All right. So now we have seen both of these texts. We've been able to talk about how they're similar, how they're different. The next thing that we'll do today is a top hat organizer. So you should have lots of ideas from the discussion that you just have with your class. So you're going to write some notes on A Quick Note on Getting Better. So we have the first one done for you. So describing that piece, in this short essay, the author describes his struggle and success with learning a new language. So write some other things about that essay, things that summarize it, things that describe it, key parts of that essay. Moving over to Mother to Son, in this poem, the narrator describes her entire life as a series of challenges. So share some other important things, key things that happened in those remaining 2 spaces. Once you do that, once you describe each text, then you will go through and choose some similarities between the 2 texts. So one that we've done for you already is both a quick note on getting better and mother to son deal with the theme of facing challenges. So now your job is share some information about both texts and then tell us what is similar about them. All right, please pause the video now. All right. Finally, we are moving to the closing and connecting part of our lesson. So your teacher might assign you anything in these blue or gray boxes, but I want to draw your attention to this in the yellow and white box right here. So you're going to complete this paragraph as either the author of a quick note or the narrator in Mother to Son. So you'll remember in a quick note, Ta-Nehisi Coates talked to us about his struggles with learning French. And in Mother to Son, poem by Langston Hughes, he wrote from the perspective of a mother sharing the hardships of her life. So you are writing as one of those two people. You are not writing as yourself, you're writing as one of those two people. So you're going to fill in the blanks, pretending that you are either the author of a quick note or the narrator in Mother to Son, and you're going to fill this out. So one struggle that I have had, I being the narrator / author of one of these two texts, is blank. Although I have faced this struggle, I have blank. My evidence to support this is blank. Something that I've learned from facing this struggle is blank. So these three sentences here, you can definitely pull evidence directly from the text, which is a good thing because you've read both of those texts today. All right, so this is where I will leave you. Please complete this paragraph either in the voice of the author from a quick note or the narrator from Mother to Son. I'll see you for the next lesson.